Aston Business School. Dr. Lightfoot, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for inviting me.
So today you gave a presentation on servitization. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes, servitisation is a move in the manufacturing industry where purely production manufacturing organisations have now moved to providing services along with their products.
So is this a new concept?
This is a new concept to manufacturing to a certain extent, but the idea has been around for probably the best part of 20 years.
Okay, so what prompted this shift?
What's prompted the shift really is that basically in the developed world, the cost base for manufacturing, the competition in manufacturing, and the ease to get products made in low-cost economies like Brazil, Russia, India, China has really driven the fact that competing against competition from those areas on price alone is no longer viable, and you have to do something different than just price alone.
Okay, so can you give us just a couple of examples of different companies that are implementing this?
Yeah, there are some classic examples of companies around the globe, big organizations who have succeeded in this. Probably one of the most well-known is Rolls-Royce Aerospace, who instead now of just selling aero engines, which again, although it's a high-value technical product, the margins in selling the engine, the profit you can make in just an engine sale are very low and can be achieved by lots of other organizations. So they move from just selling engines to offering now what they call total care packages, where an airline or an airframe manufacturer no longer just buys an engine and then pays when it breaks or gets fixed. They now pay per use on that engine. So Rolls-Royce only gets paid when the engine rotates, and when it doesn't, there is no revenue stream.
Okay.
And the whole package is based on the airline having the knowledge that there will be a fixed cost to running the aircraft when the engine turns, and there'll be no surprises along the line in terms of a sudden maintenance cost or repair cost that they weren't expecting outside a warranty period. So you have peace of mind effectively. That's one example in the aerospace. And the other probably classic example is Xerox, who've got a massive technology base. They don't like being called a manufacturer anymore. They prefer to be known now as a technology-driven service company. And instead of selling printers and copiers, what they offer is document management.
Sure.
So their customers now have their document requirements managed by the Xerox Corporation, which still includes providing printers and copiers, but it doesn't have to be their own printers and copiers. They manage the whole process for the customer.
Right. So what is the value proposition then for any company looking to move from being just a product company to being a solutions company?
Well, I think the value proposition varies, but basically what the end customer wants is usually a reduced cost, improved operational efficiency, reliability to his products, availability of his products. But in essence, in terms of value proposition, you have to understand what the customer requirement is, what he truly wants, and you have to be very specific. Things like cost down, improved performance, improved delivery, these sort of things are good value propositions. If you can't be specific in a value proposition, you have to ask yourself, so what? So if you offer somebody something and a customer something, if the answer is so what, the value proposition probably isn't strong enough.
Yeah, of course.
And the best source of understanding what value you bring to customers is to ask them. Ask your existing customers, what value does my proposition bring to you? And then think about whether you should change that for other organizations or improve on it.
In your presentation, you were saying that servitization wards off competition.
Yes.
It fosters customer loyalty. Can you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I think the business of warding off competition, I think what it does, it takes you out of competing on price alone. So you no longer offer your product as effectively a commodity. I know an aero engine isn't a commodity, or a train isn't a commodity, but the margins that they attract anymore are commodity margins. You know, you don't make 100% margin on an aeroplane engine or a train. You make 5% or 10%, or in the case of Rolls-Royce, sometimes they give the product away.
Yeah.
And in the design and development areas, what happens is, with those products anyway, the design and the viability of a new design is based on how many customers you can get to adopt a, say, total care package
Right.
for the product. Not how many engines you can sell.
Right.
How many of the customers you're going to sell it to will take a total care package, because that's where the profitability comes, not in the engine sale anymore,
Right.
or the product sale.
So, one of the challenges obviously facing field service companies is finding new revenue streams.
Yeah.
What are some other challenges that you're seeing in your research?
I think the main challenges are responding to increasing customer demands. You know, it's all right looking for new revenue, but the customers are more demanding. They want availability, they want reliability, they want performance, and you've got to deliver that at a fixed price.
Right. So, would you say that the field service technicians have to evolve with the evolving customer?
I think very much so. I think the thing about the field service technicians, we find that they're very important. Certainly talking to Caterpillar, very important. Field service technician turns up just before the end of shift,
Right.
has a conversation with the driver at the end of shift, finds a lot of things out, builds relationships that help them to interface with the customer and feedback into the design process if necessary, or into the service network, what the customer's real perception is of the vehicle or product, how it's performing, what are the little things that you find out in those situations that you wouldn't if you had no field service technician there. And he needs to be obviously technically competent, because the customer needs to know he understands his business, and he needs to know that the technician actually understands his own products.
Right. So, for companies that are looking to move towards this concept of for customers looking, for companies looking to deliver on customer expectations and to really moving towards a more servitization model.
Yep.
Do you have any good advice, some best in breed advice?
Yeah, I think the clear thing you've got to do if you're moving in those directions, you've got to be able to set up facilities that are located in your customers' operational areas,
Right.
close to the customer's end user.
Right.
You've got to set up good communication processes with the customer, processes that are integrated with the customer's own processes, so there's no disconnection with the customer. And also, I think, to invest in integrated communications technology, which is now not expensive, but you need to get the right technology in place to get data from product in the field in good time back into the system to respond to problems and customer requirements.
Well, Dr. Lightfoot, thank you so much for being with us today, and thank you for coming to the conference. We've really enjoyed it, and I hope you enjoy the next couple of days.
Yes, I've enjoyed it very much. Thank you very much indeed.